My favorite Dark Abyss Dragon gets reintroduced again today, along with the Chaos Ride line, so let's begin. But first, cards for the last few days. That does not include Shaman King because I'm starting not to care about these collabs anymore. First off, a double rare Stealth Fiend Folktale, which is a grade 1 with 8k power and it's a Dragon Empire and it's skillless. Auto, when placed on rearguard, you can look at the top 7 cards of your deck. If you do, choose one normal unit with Stealth or Glitter and put it to Soul. And then of course, shuffle your deck. This is pretty decent for the time of your deck because 1, it is choice soul chargings, and 2, there are specific glitter cards that you also want in soul, and that deck does soul blast a lot. And this is also good to get your multi-attack with the twins much faster. So of course, really good. Next, a double rare for Phantom Blaster, which a Prohibition Hermes. Grade 1, 8k power and skills. Auto, when retired by card ability of your Blaster Vanguard during your turn, costs Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. The Soul Blast 2 is a little overcosted, but luckily we do have ways to get some soul back now. But still not really recommended, especially when your Phantom Blaster Dragon itself already has retired power, and you got Blaster Dark, you got retired power already. But run it in your own leisure. And now to the Tuesday stream. First off, here's the Wrecker of Ragnarok stuff, and I'm personally not going to even go over this because I'm starting not to care about these collab, unless if it's a waifu anime collab. But just take a look at it for a few seconds. And then to the Chaos Ride line, here's the starter, one with Profound Mercy Kheios. Next, in the Calm Streets Kheios, which is of course the grade 1 with 8k power and it's skillless. Auto, when rolled upon by Quamir of Soulless Chaos, which is your grade 2, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, put all the normal units from among them to soul and then the rest of the bottom deck in any order. And also has the glitter ability. So something I already like about this Chaos Ride line is that you get choice soul charging and you don't randomly soul charge trigger units, which is one of my favorite kind of deck filtering. And now to the grade 2, Quagmir of Soulless Chaos, grade 2, 10k power and skillless. Auto, when rolled upon by your Approaching Fangs Chaos, your grade 3, soul charge 1. If you soul charge a trigger unit, you draw a card. If it was a normal unit, choose a card from your soul and call it to rearguard. Unfortunately, if you soul charge an order, you get nothing, but I do like that you get a free plus from this. And one of your goals with this deck is to get as many different named normal units in your soul, because of course it's Dark State, so more soul type abilities, but definitely a good setup card, and also has glitter. Finally, Approaching Fangs Chaos, grade 3, 30 power and skillless. Act Vanguard, once per turn, cost Counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose one card from among them and put it to your hand. Another one gets called to rearguard, and the last one goes to soul. That's pretty good right there, especially you get choice soul charging. And because this is a Dark States deck, of course this deck is going to be focusing on soul, and luckily you have a lot of generic soul charging support for Dark States, so you do have options. Especially because everything builds up to this second skill where Auto Vanguard, when this card attacks a Vanguard, if your soul has 8 or more different cards, choose one of your rear guards that gets plus 10k power in a turn. If it's 13, all your rear guards instead. And this card also has the glitter ability. So similar to Boromagus, where you want a specific amount of soul to gain certain effects. In this case, it's all about spreading power. Although in some ways I do like this ride line better because you get the ability of choice soul charging and soul manipulation. Although what's worse is that this ride line requires you to have different names in soul. Although it shouldn't be too bad considering that you have soul manipulation. And you can always run this like a Highlander like deck, especially with all those generic soul charge cards for Dark State. So I say this is pretty interesting. And now to the glitter card for Kheios, which is a Brandgate card as well. Cool-Headed Executioner Mikani, grade 3, 30 power and skills. Auto, when placed on rearguard, cost Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards with the same grade as the Soul Blaster card and retire it. This is fine for some removal, especially that in some cases you might have multiple copies of specific cards in soul that you could just get rid of, so it's not too bad. And then the second skill is Glitter for Kheios. Auto rearguard, when your Vanguard attacks, if your soul has 8 or more cards with different names, stand this unit. If you do, you put this card to soul at the end of the turn. So this just enables multi-attack for your Kheios. I say that's not too bad, especially with Kheios, who could just give power to this card after it restands. Now it would be even better if you have 2 of these on the field just for more big attacks. And besides, it's free. Alright, now to the Phantom Blaster encounter stuff. The first card is Skull Witch Nemain. Grade 2, 5k power, and its skills. Count rearguard. During your turn, if your Vanguard is Blaster, this card gets plus 5k power. And of course, this is permanent. If you're wondering about the 5k power part, that's because of premium reasons. Now, it is nice that this could stay at 10k, so it doesn't stay weak as hell. But the second skill is Auto. When placed on rearguard, if your Vanguard is a Shadow Paladin, cost Counterblast 1, put a card from your hand to soul, draw 2 cards. Damn, this is really good. Not only you get a soul, you also draw 2 cards on top of that. And I'm glad that this is only for Shadow Paladins because I'm afraid that Majesty Lord was going to abuse it somehow. So this is a must play for your Shadow Paladin encounter deck. Now when it comes to premium, it all depends. Although I might prefer to run the 4 original Nemains more because they're grade 1s. Finally, to the evolved Phantom Blaster Overlord, which is a grade 3 with 30k power and skills. Count Vanguard. If your soul has a Phantom Blaster Dragon, this card gets a crit plus 1. I mean, free crit pressure every single turn, why not? Especially with Nemen being able to choice Soul Charge, you don't probably need to ride a Phantom Blaster Dragon from your ride deck. You could probably just put this in your ride deck, and hopefully Nemen can put the Phantom Blaster Dragon to soul. Especially because of the second skill, Auto Vanguard. When this card attacks, cost retire 2 of your rearguards, choose 1 Blaster Dark from your soul or drop zone, and call it to rearguard. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, the called unit along with this unit gets plus 10k power until the end of turn. In a way, it is a copy and paste of V Phantom Blaster Overlord, except it's restricted to Blaster Dark, must retire 2, but it doesn't cost any counterblast. That's a big part. And now with this, because of this second skill, Shadow Paladins for encounter just became a 4 attack deck. Which right now it isn't actually too bad because Overdress isn't super overwhelming right now, and unlike how V Phantom Blaster Overlord was introduced, that one was just introduced like at a bad time compared to this version at Overdress where it's the beginning of the second year where many cards are not like super overwhelming. Yeah, it won't beat set 4, but at least this was reintroduced in a better timing for Overdress than it was on V. And overall, it's not too bad for being a 23k beater with a crit that can also get you 4 attacks per turn, which in Overdress standard, many of them are 3 attack decks. Still not super strong, but for Overdress standard, this is pretty decent. And then next week, we got the Cater Sanctuary ride line, along with Dragonic Overlord the End, because the protagonist unit must be the last one. I just hope that the End is not going to be a copy and paste for the V the End to being a triple attack Vanguard, unless if it's absurdly costly. So that's it for this. What do you guys think about the Kheios ride line along with the new Phantom Blaster Overlord? Kheios ride line, pretty interesting. Like any typical Darkstate deck, it focuses a lot around soul. And I also like the fact that it has choice soul charging rather than random soul charging. But when it comes to Phantom Blaster Overlord, it's not super overwhelming or anything, but I still like it that it's an Overdress standard because in Overdress, most of the stuff is not overwhelming, so I'll take it. Especially now, it turns Shadow Paladin into a 4 attack deck for Overdress. The only thing I don't like is that it specifically has to work with Blaster Dark. Although because a ride deck exists, you should guarantee to be able to use it unless you go against a bind deck, which still doesn't exist in Overdress yet. But I'm playing it regardless because I can't let go of Phantom Blaster. But in that's it for this, and see you all next time.